Good morning, traders. It's good to be back. As usual, I'm disorganized this morning. I've been out of town and just sat down to take a look at things. I did take a quick trade earlier this morning, and it's a little one-pointer, pre-market for $50. You'll see up on the screen, though, that is not a trade. That was a sim trade just to make sure everything was up and running after being gone for 4 days. So overall, right now, we're up $50. And the only thing I see here is Powell, at 8 o'clock, there was a spike in the market because Chairman Powell started speaking. There was no particular reason that this did what it did. I don't know if sometimes they'll release his pre-written speech ahead of time, so as soon as people get it, they can react to it. That could be it. It could have just been a preemptive move. I don't know. It just spiked exactly at 8 o'clock on the bell. Market opens in about 4 minutes. At the moment, we had a strong pullback at early this morning, and overnight, let's see what she looked like. Yeah, overnight we're general downtrend. Actually, let's see where it was. Here's the open of the overnight. So basically, this downturn was from yesterday's close. This is what it did overnight, right in this area here, and so the big picture is a channel here, and all we've done here is we broke that channel down here, reversed, headed towards the top, and now we may be reversing back off the top of it. If this stays in a channel, I don't know how much trading I'll do. I am not a good channel trader. I like to stay out of it. I find my easiest money is in trends, up or down, obviously. But we'll see. We'll wait for the open, and then we will watch it for a bit. If something obvious comes up, we might take it. Otherwise, I might wait the first 10 or 15 minutes, as I usually do. We had a channel working our way down here, broke it, went back up, made a new high. We may be revisiting the bottom again. We'll see. This is on the 5-minute. This is an intriguing trade, but it doesn't give us much room back up to the top, so I probably won't take that. We're just chopping around the 9 EMA here and also the 20 EMA, so I don't have anything to really do right now. But it's early anyway. Got a minute and a half until open. This is just choppy now. But I am not a open trader anyway. I avoid the open. Even this little spike here, some guys love that stuff. They'll jump in there assuming that this was based on nothing because there was no real news other than the fact that Powell was speaking. So they'll assume that it'll find a high, and as soon as it starts to come back, jump in, pick up a few points. Not a terrible strategy, but I don't know. I have never back tested it. I don't know if it's reliable or not. So are we going to break up or are we going to break down? There's the opening bell. And we are off. All right, so it did break this. Slight downward trend here. Is it going to find a new high? I don't know. Yeah, looks like we're going higher. These lines are overnight high and low. Green is the high, red is the low, and yellow is the current. Overnight, that is. Just watching for a while. We're well above the 21 EMA on the 5-minute chart, so we should actually be looking for longs. We'll see how it plays out. Definitely some strong bullish momentum here, but it's basically just bouncing around. This is your first time watching, what I'll typically be looking for is a nice break above. Like this right here, if this was during regular trading, this would be a possible trade. To watch it come break above this red line, which is 105 EMA on the 1 minute, which is also the 21 EMA on the 5 minute. Comes up, makes a peak. Pulls back with a little bit of daylight between here and the 9. We wait for it to reject. So in this case, our trade would have been right there. And 9. That would not have been good for 5 points, but this was pre-market, so I'm not surprised. Typically, what we would, if we had that during the regular market, we'd be looking for 5 points, which eventually you would have got, but I think we would have probably gotten stopped out in the meantime. I'm not sure. Let's see here. 3, so 6. No, we wouldn't have. So you could have actually sat on this thing for a while and it would have got you your 5 points. What I typically will be looking for is a 3-point stop, or I'll just set it below one of these peaks. For instance, instead of a full 3 points, I'll put it one tick below this bar. That'll be my stop, and we would have been okay. Would have been close by a tick or so, but it never did break that. But then our whole downside would have been a couple of points, and then we could have even held this, but we did have a lot of wick action here, so we probably would have taken our 5 points. And you can put a trailing stop, just follow these bars up and see how far you can take it. It's a little tricky on a evaluation account, like for instance, with Apex, because it is a live trailing stop, meaning that you do not want to let this thing reverse too much on you, because then that's chop it away at your trailing drawdown. It's what I guess you might call a high water drawdown, meaning that 2500, it follows you and it will always be at your highest profit. I know I'm not explaining that very well, but it's basically it's $2,500 below whatever your highest profit was. So if it reverses on you, your drawdown still remains at the high. So if up here would be our $2,500 drawdown, but then if we kept in that trade and it reversed on us, it's chopping away at that $2,500. The $2,500 drawdown still up here. I'll try to make some videos, or you can just Google it. I mean, look on YouTube. There's millions of videos on how a live trailing drawdown works, but I might make one too, just to further confuse everybody. All right, so now what we're watching for is to see if we can get a pullback to this 9 EMA. And if we do, we might take a trade. Let's see if we have our account set up properly. I've got too many Apex accounts here, and I do not trade them all at the same time, even though if you were to purchase the Apex trade copier, you could trade them all at the same time, but it's risky because, you know, I mean, I blow up accounts, so you don't want to blow up your entire inventory of accounts at the same time, but I'll risk a couple. Let's see here. All right, once again, if we get a nice smooth pullback to this 9 EMA, we may look for a long. But when I say a smooth pullback, what we want to see is nice lower lows here leading into it. And once we wick through it, then we can think about taking a trade. So here at 18, 19, so yeah, around 25. Yeah, this could be a good trade. We'll give it a shot. Didn't quite touch that 9, which is kind of the formula. We really need to wick through that 9 to feel good about that trade, even though I have a feeling this would have worked either way because we're only talking about a tick. Now it touched it, but that's only because this is a moving average, so it's averaging 9 bars. So as this thing's going up, this is still forming. We want to see a clean punch through it. Now this is not quite as interesting, but we'll see. We may still take it. I don't like the way that this is now sort of trading sideways. What you might call barcoding, you know, just equal bars over and over and over and over. It really doesn't have a direction, kind of consolidating. Doesn't know which direction it wants to go. Now, later on, if you look at this chart, you would have said that this is a good trade only because you see it wick through already, but that wicked through after we went on to these further bars. This never did it on this bar. All right, we do have a touch there. Let's see, the top of this bar is 23.5, so 23.75 would be our trade. Let's go ahead and let's give that a try. It's not a beautiful, perfect setup, but it has potential. So now what we would be, it'll be around 28.75. So that's right there. That's where we would want to take our profit. All right. See how this works. So what we'll be looking for is a 5-point profit target and a 3-point stop, or possibly I may, what is this here? This is 18. That's a big stop. We'll go with the 3-point, I think. If we even get in the trade. We're not in the trade yet. It's looking a little raggedy here. All right. Let's bail on that. That's not shaping up as well as we had hoped. Now, we could take this. If this were to, this is a higher low. If this were to turn into a second entry long off of this 21, it would also be a valid trade for me. Even a first entry would have worked here. Yeah, we already almost have our 5 points just on a first entry off of this 21 EMA. Actually, there is a second entry long off of that 21 on the 2000 tick, but not on the 1 minute. Still is a higher low, but it definitely seems heavy, doesn't it? Looks like it wants to break down. 21 still holding here. So, maybe something along these lines. Should we break above here, work our way up? There's a pivot point at 92-ish, right up around here. I'm getting that off of one of my other charts. But believe me, there is a pivot point at 32. Yeah, right there where my crosshairs are at. I took this trade on a break of this trend just above, a tick above this bar, and we'll see if it works out. I don't like how far I got this. Yeah, this is not working out, so we're going to take our stop if it does. We're hoping for is it to break up, and this is way too far. I have my bracket set wrong. 25 is what we'd like right there. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it still wants to hold on to this trend line. But we still are above the 21 EMA. So we're still in this. Let's see if we can make a nice break to the upside. Let me warn you, do not follow my trades. I am not a professional trader. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on the internet trading some accounts, trading the futures. Just trying to learn, as I'm sure you are too. Do not copy my trade. Is this going to do anything? It's looking kind of heavy. Although the 21 does seem to be holding at the moment, so I'm hoping that give it a little bit of time, it'll break. Once we get up in here a little bit, I'll probably move this to break even. It's looking pretty good. I don't like the way that's stalling. Well, let's be patient. Yeah. It should have moved more aggressively. Yeah, it's starting to look heavy. I think we're going to get stopped out here, unfortunately. Yep. Unfortunately, that was a big fat loser. But what you gonna do? Actually, we could have gotten out for 50 or $100, but I like to take my 5-pointers. And it was a valid setup. I mean, there was nothing wrong with that trade, but it just didn't work out. So let's wait for the next one. Yeah, I might take a trade off of this 100 EMA. See how if it rejects it. This little scalp for $150. That was basically a trade off of this 100 EMA. I wait till it touched it, looked for rejection, put my buy order a tick above this bar that wicked through it, and then followed up and just eyeballed where it looked like it was starting to hit some resistance, and that we did have our trend line here, and we also have the 21 EMA holding things up. So I'm just trying to recover a little bit from that previous trade, and we picked up some of it, but we're still down $100. Actually, 150 because I had $50 from earlier. So on the one account, I'm down 145. The other one, I'm down $99. So let's now just be patient and see what happens. Something along those lines. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, we're definitely breaking down now. I mean, we have a nice downtrend forming here. This was just I guess you could consider it a counter trend trade just because we have this short-term drawdown, but the overall is still upward. And we are still above the 105 EMA. So we're breaking out of this trend. We're just going to watch it. Not get too excited. Common problem with me is if I'm down even a little bit, and this is not just me, I imagine most traders have this problem to overcome, is you just want to get your money back as quickly as possible. So you start what they call revenge trading, and you have to try to resist that and just wait for your setups. Just be blind to what happened previously and just watch for the next setup. For instance, this one, if it has a nice pullback, that's our trade, right? I mean, although it did break through here, so really what we'd like to do is, for instance, in this case, watch it cleanly break through to the downside, pull back, and then take it down. But we have to deal with what's in front of us. The scary part about trading this morning is Chairman Powell is speaking, and if he does a Q&A, I should be monitoring it, but I am not. And if he's doing a Q&A and he says something unusual, it could send this thing spiking in either direction. And if you're in a trade, you are in big trouble. Unless, you could be in big trouble, or you could be, could make a lot of money, but it would all be just a flip of the coin. All right, let's see what's going. We could have stuck with that trade, but it did have a pretty serious pullback here, well below that. We would have got stopped out because I had my stop a tick below this bar here. So that would have been stopped out if we would have stayed with it, just to watch it reverse on us. So once again, what I'll be looking for here is a nice clean pullback to this yellow line, which is the 9 EMA. And if we get that clean pullback, we will try to take a trade long. But please don't copy my trades. I do not want to be responsible for anybody losing money. Just keep reminding yourself, this is just some random guy on the internet. Almost missed our trade here. All right, so what we're looking for quickly is 2250. Let's see how that works. Let's see how that works. All right, we're in this trade. Let's see if it goes our way. What am I in this at? I'm in about 22 and a half, 27 and a half. Yep, that's correct. I think we'll put our stop about a tick below here. So we'll see if we can get that 5 points. Looking decent. If we get a little bit higher, I think I'm going to put my stop at break even just to be on the safe side. Of course, getting this 5 points would require a new high. That thing's reversing pretty hard on us. Damn it. Yeah, we're stopped out again. And we could have bailed on that with a couple points, but like I said, on a trade like that, I'm always looking for 5 points. And we could try again. For instance, on this one here, that would be, we'd go long at 19 and a half. We'll give it one last try because it does seem to want to go up. Try to get a little bit more out of this. If we get stopped out of this, I'm not sure. I think I might call it a day because I'm obviously not seeing the price action. Yeah, it's already getting heavy. We are above the 21 EMA, so we'll keep our eye on it. Struggling. Looks like it might want to make its way back up to the top of this channel. We'll see. It's just not aggressive, you know, it's really struggling. It's not clear. A lot of wicks there. These wicks here are making me a little bit nervous. They're all pointing down. Yeah, look at that. Not good. Damn. All right, well, let's take a breath and watch it. We've had 3 losers and only 1 winner. It was only a minor winner at that, so it might be a good idea to just call it a day. Yeah, look at that. And almost reversed immediately after taking out our stop. Still pretty choppy, though. Even though I do believe we're going to be looking for a new high here, I'm a little bit shell-shocked here because of the losses today. By the way, just we are overall down 632. Not devastating, but still a pain in the ass. Look at that, moving exactly where we thought it would. But I am going to wait for a legitimate setup or not take any more trades. We'll just keep our eyes open. So it's starting to look a little bit messy here with these. So I'm going to change this to just markers. A little cleaner. But today is not a good day so far, but we still have some time. All right, I'm sorry I had my mic muted. What we did there is we waited for it to break this high here, and I went with 2 contracts for 5 points. And we got it pretty quickly. But that still leaves us down about $140, but that's better than down $650. So once again, technically I'm down 186 on one account and 140 on another because I took a $50 trade on one of those accounts pre-market. So let's keep our eyes open for next trade. That 5 points just came up. There's a pivot point right there at 32 and a quarter. We got out at 31, but that was strictly because it was a 5-point move. But it did coincide with this pivot point. We still may go up from here, but now what I'd like to do is wait for a pullback to the 9 EMA. Still looking for a pullback to go long. Didn't get the pullback we were looking for. We wanted a nice clean pullback to this 9 before we re-entered this trade. Got a little bit of resistance at this pivot point, but it looks like it's breaking through it now. Looks like we may actually go up to 40s maybe. 38, maybe 38. Let me just remind you guys that I trade a PA account, a funded account with Apex Funder Trading. You see on the screen there, if you use my code there, you'll get 50% off of your monthly fees this month and every month. Also, they're running a deal now if you blow up an account that the normal $80 restart fee is cut to $40. It's half price. Check their site for all the details on that. All right, this is looking interesting, although this bar is so big, I wouldn't want to get in at the top of it. So we did touch it. We could just take it right at that point, but I'm worried that it'll pull all the way back to the 20. We might get in at the top of this current bar once it closes. About 30 seconds left on that bar. Let's get our order ready. Got about 10 seconds left on this bar. All right, let's see what happens here. Now you could just take a first entry off this 20 EMA, but we do have a higher low forming here. It's 29, so that would be 34 and a half. That would not get us to the new high, which is good. Yeah, it seems like it's breaking down now. Yeah, let's get out of this. Nope. Deep pullback here. And that was a trade I was considering here on this 2000 tick. Is as it rejected here, go long right there, and we would have tried to get our 5 points. It did, yeah, it did make it. So it's 26 3/4. Didn't quite make it. Yeah, 26 3/4. Didn't quite make our 5 points, but that was a nice move. I probably would have tried to get out at the 21 EMA anyway, so I think we would have picked up 3 points. Let's see what the 1 minute's doing here. I still think that we're looking for a new high here. Right here wouldn't have been a terrible trade. $26 3/4. That's our entry right there. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's stay out of that. Even though I think we are looking for a new high here. I think I'm just reaching for trades. It's about 10:30 Eastern right now. We'll keep looking at these charts for another half an hour. We'll call it a day at 11 Eastern. We're down about $186 on one count and 140 on the other, only because I took a $50 winner pre-market on the other account. I'll be right back. We got a nice big drop here. It actually went right through VWAP on the 2000 tick. Now we could conceivably be looking for a pullback to this 9 and go short. Now that we're below the 105, that's what I'll be thinking about. We do have a lot of resistance here. What's that, 104, 105? That bar is 104 3/4, 106. So yeah, somewhere's in here, 105, 104. See, you're bouncing off of it just like it did back here. Now we still need this to be need our 9 to come down below this 105. Could be setting up here for a short. Sorry, I had my mic muted. We took a pretty good trade there. We were down as much as 650. Now we've gotten one of our accounts to basically, well, they're both basically at break even. One's up 35, one's down 11. We're only going to trade for about another 12 minutes, so we may have to just take what we have here and trade another day. I only trade between 9:30, the open of the cash market, and 11 o'clock Eastern. I find that that's where the best movement is, the best volume, and my strategies typically work best between those hours, as do many strategies. And today's price action has been pretty choppy. It really is a little less predictable than I would like to see. But somehow we managed to come back from a $650 down day. I'll take that. And I think that they were all reasonable trades within the boundaries of my strategy. So that's all you can ask for, because none of these strategies are 100%. You know, if you're getting 60, 70%, that's a pretty good strategy. And we took our stop losses. We didn't let things get out of hand, and we were able to come back from it. Still think we're going lower here. I think we're going to be going down into the 90s. At least we should be able to touch this low here, this red dotted line. That's the overnight low, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, that's the current day open, high, and low. So that was our low today so far. Yeah, that occurred 7:30. Now that includes the overnight when they say the day. That's not just the cash market. That's all the way from 5 o'clock yesterday. Or 6 o'clock Eastern. I'm in the Central time zone, so I'm constantly calling things out in Central, but I'm trying to get in the habit of using Eastern as a universal time for all of us. Let's see if we're going to get anything else in the last 10 minutes of our live stream. Wow, that thing really reversed on us, didn't it? I thought it was going to make its way down to this overnight low. It did not. I'm not exactly sure what it ran up against. Let's see. Okay, so there was some, yeah, right here there was some liquidity. So that's what we must have run into right here. Yeah, this is not my kind of price action. I'm not, my typical trades are not working flawlessly like you'd like to see in a nice trending market. These pullbacks to the EMAs work pretty consistently, but price action doesn't always play by the rules. But it plays by the rules often enough that, we can make money off of it. If you're so inclined, I'd appreciate if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so when I go live, it'll give you an alert. You can tune in. I'd love to see some of you join in on the chat too. See what you're doing. See what your strategies are. If you're making money, losing money. I only started this stream to help each other. I'm not trying to claim to be an expert or anything like that. I've just been doing this for a while and made a lot of mistakes and hopefully corrected a lot of them. And I like to learn from you and become a better trader. Also, I would recommend, if you haven't done so already, is to sign up with Apex. And if you do, because this way you're going to limit your losses to just whatever the monthly fee is, with no real upside limit on how much you can make off the account if you're a good trader. So if you do, you can get 50% off by using my code that you see at the bottom of the screen there. Just go to apextrading.com and pick your account, sign up, use my code, get 50% off. Yeah, I think taking my last trade for the day, and we're basically break even, so I'll take that after being down 650, 652 or something. We were down pretty good. So, and if you count that across two accounts, down 1,300. Now we're down 45. So, no, I'm sorry, we're up 25. So that's not, I'll take that any day. Just at least we recovered from our trades. But we weren't revenge trading, and I consider that to be a personal win because I still waited for proper setups and got in at the place that my strategy calls for, and we took our losses. We set our stop loss, and we didn't move it. I don't know about you, but for me, that's a personal win. I've blown up many accounts by just moving my stop loss, and it just kept going, and eventually just drained the account, went to zero. But we try not to do that anymore. It's a weird song, isn't it? It's like the Chipmunks techno. Well, I'm here every morning, and if I'm not, look in the community section of the YouTube page, my YouTube page, and it will tell you if I'm going to be gone or when I'll be back, whatever. And I'll be here usually live from 9:20, 9:25, and we'll go through till about 11 Eastern time. I hope you'll join us every day. Jump in the chat and give me some of your ideas. See how you're doing. See if you're making money. Stories about your journey trading futures, or if you're just a beginner, ask me some questions. Maybe I can shed some light on some of the things that you find confusing or mysterious. I think if you're going to day trade the futures, and in particular the ES, but whether it's NASDAQ or crude oil, it's the best way to trade. You don't have to worry about minimum balances. You don't have to worry about borrowing shares to short. I'm told that, I don't want to give any tax advice, but there are some tax advantages to trading futures over stocks. If this is the type of thing you want to do, futures are absolutely the best choice, in my opinion. But again, I have to remind you, I am not a financial advisor, and this stream is just for entertainment purposes. I'm not a teacher. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm just trading my account and trying to be held accountable by streaming live. Maybe I'm less likely to do stupid things in front of people. but you never know. There's a possible trade setting up here as we pull back. We had a nice nice move up through the 105 EMA, which is just the 21 EMA on the 5 minute, multiplied by 5 for the 1 minute. And this is the 9. So if we get a nice clean pullback to the 9, I'd be willing to take a long. I think this was the overnight open. That looks right. 8:30. Yeah, we opened here on the cash market, but this is the overnight open. This is going back all the way to 5 o'clock. But yeah, if we get nice, this little bar is a little bit confusing, but if we can get some nice lower highs, lower lows, moving back their way back to this 9, I'd be willing to take a long. But we are approaching the end of our stream, 11 a.m. Eastern. I hope you enjoy the material. If it had any value to you, entertainment or otherwise, I'd appreciate a like. Click that follow button and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when I go live each day. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.